Hi, I'm an old guy and I do maths. We're looking again today at perpetuities, which seems to be a constant source of confusion for people. There are a few videos in this channel on perpetuities, including one that defines them and explains how they work. You cannot understand questions related to perpetuities without knowing how they work. So that's an essential step before you look at something like this. So here's the problem that we have. So $1,000 perpetuity is set up. Now what that means is that someone invests $1,000 and the income from that is presumably distributed, but that $1,000 is never touched. Now, the plan for this is to distribute at least $75 income to charity each year. So what we have to do is we have to create a perpetuity, the principal of which is $1,000, and that must generate at least $75 a year. So what we're looking for is what's the minimum interest rate necessary. Doesn't matter if we generate $85 or $90 a year, that's fine, but we must not generate less than 75. So what's the minimum interest rate that we can stomach? Okay, so just so that you understand completely what's going on, in year one, the $1,000 is on deposit. It's to generate $75, and that income will be distributed to charity. Year two, the same thing. Year three, the same thing, and on and on and on and on. Right. So, how do we figure out what our interest rate is? Now, this is really very, very straightforward. The thing that we don't know is the interest rate. It's this thing here. So, what we do know is how much we want and how much capital we've got. And so really, the interest on this is really just a proportion of the $1,000. So we just work it out by way of a fraction, a proportion, if you will. And the answer is that 75 divided by 1,000, so it's income over principal. So income over principal equals interest rate. If you want a formula scrolled across the bottom of the page, but there's your formula. Income divided by principal is equal to the interest rate. Very simple once we get going. You can do this, you could probably do this on one of those calculators that you get at discount stores with the big buttons. It's very, very straightforward. So 75 over 1,000 equals 0.075. To turn that into percentage, we simply multiply it by 100 over 1. Decimal to percentage. There we go. And the answer is 7.5%. Nothing could be simpler. Yet, this ties people in all sorts of knots. And I think it has to do with the lack of understanding about what a perpetuity actually is. The name is unfamiliar and they're rare, and so most people have never encountered one. Right, thank you very much for watching. I hope this was useful. There are other videos on perpetuities in the Financial Maths channel. Have a look at them. Thanks, bye-bye.